Yeah, we got thread on the table, vinyl in the back, orders on the list, and we staying on track. Laughter's the vibe with a little caffeine. This ain't just work, it's a crafting dream. Go Savvy Lab, we stitch and we chat, bringing all the sparkle just like that. From tumblers to tees, embroidery too, we're making magic right here with you. Yeah, right here with you. We're making magic right here with you. Got the hoop in place and the lasers lit, talking about life while we custom fit. Y'all drop a comment, join in the fun. Sunday Funday vibes, getting things done. Sipping on tea and we giggle a bit. Packaging love with every kit. Creative queens with a boss babe flow. If you know, then you go. Let's go. Go Savvy Lab, we stitch and we chat, bringing all the sparkle just like that. From tumblers to tees, embroidery too, we're making magic right here with you. Get to share, crafting with heart and a little flair. Orders, laughs, and good design. It's Go Savvy time, let's shine. Yeah. It's Go Savvy time, let's shine.
Okay. Hey, let's start over because I said all of that and nobody heard me. So I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. How's it going? Hey, honey. You want to say hello to everybody? Say hey, everybody. Say hey. Say it's just Miss Shawn today. Say Miss Linda is traveling today. She's been on vacation. So it's just us. Say it's just us. Say it's just us. Say hey, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. So let's see who we got. Let's see who we got because we got a lot. A lot to talk about today and a lot to do. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting, and I think you all are going to love it. So who we got? So hey, making it with Marilyn. How are you? Hey Melody. Hey Miss Melody, Miss Evelyn, DB, Miss Jennifer, Miss Kelly, Miss Beverly. Who else we see, honey? Who else we see? Hey Miss Linda. Be careful out there. Hey Smurfs Creations. Hey Miss Nikki. Hey Miss Marina. Miss Mary Brown, Dunzell, Miss April, DB. I saw DB. I said, hey mom. Who else? Hey Shamika. Hey Miss Doris. Hey Dunzell. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. If you caught us last Sunday, I was actually live from Hyderabad, India, where I had done a ton of shopping for cheap. So I bought my fabric. I put it up earlier today. Guys, like that fabric is so gorgeous. Now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Look, honey's been gone. Say I had play dates and all the things while she was gone. She's been having all the stuff. Hey, precious pieces, welcome in. So she has been having herself a little good time too, but she looked like she's sleepy, don't she? I think so. Hey, Shay, welcome in. So let me tell y'all, before I went to India, I actually went to Sacramento. And so Sacramento was the Sacramento Sack Bag and Sew. So it's for bags. And so now, 2 months of membership. Hey girl, hey, look at her. So it was so much fun. But what I remembered while I was in India and I showed you all the beautiful fabrics in India, I forgot to show you all what I got at the Sack Bag and Sew. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you what I got from the Sack Bag and Sew. I'm going to show you my tennis shoes because you all saw that I made those. And I actually did 2 different techniques with the tennis shoes, and I'll show you about that. Then we're going to get into the AccuQuilt versus the Brother ScanNCut. And I do have both machines set up. We're going to use both machines today so that you can see that. And we'll talk through some of the things, what I like, what I don't like, and the things that we got for both of the machines. And what else? There was one more thing. Oh, we had mail. I got happy mail, as Miss Joyce will call it. And I don't see her here yet. But hey, Demetric, welcome in. Hey, Miss Vera, welcome in. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. My name is Sean. If you're new to the channel, thank you for coming in. Hey, Miss Barb. So look, India was amazing. I had a wonderful, wonderful shopping trip. Now, for next time I go, I will be looking for things like zippers and all that, the notions, because I'm a notions girl. So notions is really, really big for me. So I want to be able to go and look for notions. This time I was just looking for fabric. So I was on a fabric quest, and that's what I found. But let me tell y'all, for the amount of fabric that I got, so I ended up with 43 yards of fabric, and it was only like $80, like for 43 yards. That's like unheard of. But and they go by meters, right? So it was like 43 meters, which is, a little bit more than 43 yards. But yeah, so like, yeah, it was a whole thing. Hey, Miss Robin, welcome in. So that trip was amazing. Stay tuned. I will take you on the shopping journey because I did record all of it. I had to so we drove to one place in a car. Then we had to go on 3 wheels. They call it by 3-wheeler, which is a tuk-tuk. So we took a tuk-tuk to the other parts of the city because it's all blocked off, and it's only 3-wheelers and motorcycles that you can use. Wasn't doing a motorcycle because like there are no rules. They don't follow no traffic rules. So besides the red lights, they do stop at red lights and yield and stuff. But other than that, no. Hey, Angie, welcome in, Miss Karen. So it was very interesting. All right, so happy mail. I got some mail. This one, I think Shay showed her Shay showed hers this morning. I just got mine because I just went to the mailbox. I'm really slack when it comes to checking the mail. But mine is green. Shay's was pink. And so it is a little, oh wait, I can't see. Mine is black. So I have a little black sewing machine. It's black and gold because I like grand, but everything black and gold for me. So it is a little black and gold sewing machine. I got to figure out what I'm gonna put mine on. But I like it. It's super cute. So thank you, Miss Linda, for my little black and gold sewing machine. So I'm gonna put it back in the envelope because I don't want to lose it. I'm gonna put it on something, okay? So that's happy mail number 1. Happy mail number 2 was some material. This is the Robert Kaufman's panel for the what's it called? Oh gosh, I just lost the name. So it is the Grinch's Advent calendar. So this is to do the Advent calendar for the Grinch. And this came from Miss Chrissy. Thank you, Miss Chrissy. So that was our happy mail. But yeah, this is the Grinch Advent calendar. Hey everybody, welcome in. Hey Rory, welcome in. So let me tell y'all, the sack bag and sew was awesome. I know you all saw the photos of the bags that I made. And one of the things, she said, I made it. Oh, hey girl, hey. Hey Alexis, welcome in. So the sack bag and sew was amazing. So I did make 3 handbags, but what I want to show y'all is the handbag that I made before I went to my crossbody that I made before I went to Sacramento. So I made it on purpose to take to Sacramento. But this bag has been all over the world with me and still has my stuff in it. But y'all, look how it look. It is holding up. I was like, I did that. Like literally, it is like it still got my stuff in it. It's kind of heavy. But yeah, I think I probably still have my I do. I still have all my travel stuff in here. So guys, like this travel bag was everything. And again, you can see how stuffed I got it. It is heavy. It's heavy because I got all kinds of junk in here. I think I even got a second phone in here. I do. Like all the stuff is in here. Let's take this phone out of here. That's what's making it so heavy. So, but yes. So let me just tell you, I love, love, love this bag. It is the Raina. And I will be making a couple more of these because this bag has traveled with me for the last 3 weeks at least since I made it. I have carried it. And yeah, I'm all about this bag. Like it has done. I mean, if it falls apart tomorrow, like look, I feel like I did a good thing right here with this bag. So I just wanted to show y'all. And oh, that's the other thing. So this strap here was from Simply Classics. And so she told me that the strap is discontinued. So, and she also told me that her other straps were discontinued as well. So I called her up and was like, hey, Chris, how many you got? Okay, so I got the last one because I really like that. And I want to make, hold on, I'm coming back. I want to show y'all the other colors that she had because I did grab those. I was like, I'm gonna need. She said they all were discontinued. I said, oh, that ain't good. I want those. So let me show y'all the other colors that it came in, and I got the last one. Well, no, when I went out there, they were out of the one. They were out of the gray. So they didn't have any more gray. The gray was already gone. So, oh my God. But I was able to get these other ones. So I see some man bags in the future with some of these other straps. Let me show you. So this is from Simply Classics. And she also writes handbag patterns. But see that? Look at that. Can't you see that on a guy's bag? That would be really nice with a black bag, little brown zippers and stuff. Yeah, that right there. It's called Tan Beige Peacock. So then they had this one, which is blue and red peacock. Hey everybody, welcome in, welcome in. And this one is also a peacock. It is blue and yellow. Blue and yellow peacock. So, I mean, super cute peacocks. But I really, really like my other one. The gray and whatever this color is. That it looks like an orange color. But I love it, love it, love it. So it's called Zigzag Gray Multicolor. Thank you. Yes, I like the patterns. So this is the one that I have on my bag. It's called Zigzag Gray Multicolor. But yes. Okay, so now let's talk about the things. So this was as a result of me going to the Sacramento Sac Bag and Sew. She told me that they were going to discontinue it. So I was like, oh no. And these are only like, you get 60 inches of it for a couple dollars. So yeah, I had to have it. But yeah, so we will be making some bags and these will be attached as my webbing for those bags. Let me tell y'all what I did today. So I added my 2 other shelves that I already bought a long time ago. I finally added them because I had all this thread, my industrial thread that I needed to add. So the top shelves are all industrial thread, and I have some regular Floriani down here at the bottom. But my industrial threads, I needed my tech threads. for some different colors. Because when I was sewing, I realized when I was doing that crossbody, I realized I don't have all the colors that I really want. So I went and bought some colors. Hey Tanya, hey, welcome in. So let's see the other thing. So sack, bag, and sew. I bought some fabric. Y'all know I bought some fabric, right? Everybody knows I'm like a fabric person. So they had this one vendor that had cork. Thank you. So like this cork, and I love geometric shapes, as you can see with my logo. But look, this is so pretty. This is a cork, and when I tell you it is so soft, it is amazing. So I cannot wait to make something with this cork. Cut something out and do that. The other thing they had was glow in the dark vinyl. Now this is going to glow in the dark. It looks like my Halloween bag will be a glow in the dark bag. And I need to do something with this because I think I want to carry something glow in the dark with me to maybe Quilt Market or something, but glow in the dark. And it's stripes. This one, y'all, I was so outdone. Now I got these from My Little Shindig. And let me tell you, the lady from My Little Shindig is awesome, her and her husband. But you know what? I really want to open this so you all can see what it is. And all I could think of was some little children. Because let me tell you, when you think of girl power, it is all these people on here. And I just want y'all to see it. And then I'll read off some of the names. But let me just tell you, it is like for a little girl, there's everybody on here. You have Eleanor Roosevelt, Marie Curie, Florence Nightingale, Krista Mac. Oh, I'm trying to remember her. How do you pronounce her name? I think it's McAfee, Katherine Johnson, Harriet Tubman, Jane Goodall, Princess Diana, Malala I'm messing up her name. Yousafzai, Helen Keller, Anne Frank, Rosa Parks, Elizabeth Cody, Maya Angelou, Margaret Thatcher, Susan B. Anthony, Aung San Suu Kyi, Mother Teresa, Michelle Obama, I said Florence Nightingale. Yeah. Greta Thunberg. I said Anne Frank. Like all the ladies. And it is just super cool. Now this is faux vinyl. This is vinyl. And so, just all in all good. Hey, Miss Sharon Davenport. Welcome in. So, it's this is one of those like good things. Like I can see making like a pencil pouch or something for a little girl. Now here's another one. And it's pink. Where should I say it? It is pink. And it's called should I have a name for it? But this is from My Little Shindig. And this one has all the things. It's like all the ladies again are different ladies, but it has positive messages on here for young ladies. She didn't have any for young men, or I would have got both, right? So I didn't see any for young men, but she might have them on her website. It says, be a legend, be a lady, be a legend, be a lady. That's what it says. And it's pink. It is super cute. And I can see this being, like I said, pencil pouches or something like that. It is super positive messages for young people. And I love it. Or anyone, actually. Shoot. It could be good for like grown-ups. Making it, you know how I make my boxy bags. This would be great for a boxy bag for some ladies with with a breast cancer awareness coming up, make some of these and, put a cute little breast cancer awareness symbol or something on it. Amazing. So I won a couple of things. I won this piece of faux leather from Wonderland. And then I won this webbing from the Sack Bag. And so there was like this thing. They were playing like human musical chairs or dominoes or something like that. Like you pull a numbers, they call a number and you win. You step on a number, and if your number's called, you pick 3 items and you got to give one back. It's like, what's that game called? Make a deal. Let's make a deal. It's like human, let's make a deal. But I won these 2 items. And then there was a vendor. Oh, wait. Let me go back. My little shindig. She has this vinyl, which, guys, I don't know if you can see it. It has sparkle in it. Like, it literally sparkles. She had purple, Miss Joy, but it literally sparkles. It's got like a glitter shimmer in it, but it's a faux vinyl, and it's called Tiny Glitter Faux Vinyl. I mean, super, super pretty. And I think this will be so nice in anything, in a bag, or even in some of our applique. Like, I just can't wait. And I can't wait. I'm gonna use this in applique too, because look at this. Look at the pattern on there. It almost looks like a scale or something. There was a vendor that had oh gosh, it is called laminated cotton. So this is laminated cotton, and it feels super, super soft. Like this whole side over here feels like cotton, but this side here is like you can wipe it off. So I was thinking about diaper bags, things that are reusable, so that they're wanting this to be something that's reusable. Hey, Miss Marissa. Hey, Miss Keisha. Welcome in. So, like, when you're thinking of things that are reusable, when you buy their material, you got free patterns. And so I have a link to all the free patterns that they gave me, where I can make things like food storage containers to put things in. They had like a way to make the little diaper bag containers, ways to make just like a lot of different things. But when I tell you, you could just wipe this off if something gets on it, it's amazing. The lady was carrying it with her food in it. She had like all of her little food and stuff in there. So it was super awesome. And then she had this one, which I thought was too cute, because y'all know I love travel stuff. And so this just looked like travel to me. It has like the poster stamp on it. It says Amore. It has Paris on it. And it says, the road to friends and house is never long. So the road to a friend's house is never long. But I mean, super cute. Super cute. And it's got chickens and birds and butterflies and all those things. So super cute. Again, just one of those things that you can wipe off, because it's called laminated cotton. And again, I got these at the Sacramento bag, Sack and Sew. Then there was a vendor. All this guy sold was straps, but look, the straps were like 80 cents a yard. What's the name of the pattern for the crossbody? So it's called the Raina by Lynn's Handmade. It's called the Raina by Lynn's Handmade. Let me tell y'all, the scrap vendor, they're called Scrap Works. I always say scrap. Strap Works, STRAP Works. They had so many straps, but look at that. They were 80 cents a yard. 80 cents. 2 yards. 80 cents. Like, I mean, 80 cents? What? Y'all know I'm a motorcyclist, so I had to find some flames somewhere from my Harley. And of course, I bought the glow in the the glow in the dark dog straps at 80 cents a yard. Y'all, somebody gonna be buying some dog straps because I'm finna personalize them. This is glow in the dark right here. And I learned how to make dog straps while I was there. Yes. The lady showed me how to make the dog straps. I'm like, oh, yes, I can make some dog straps. So these were from Strapworks. Now, I also went to Wonderlane. And again, the straps were 80 cents a yard. I think the dog straps were like 40% off of that. So wait, what? Okay, yeah, I gotta have that. Let me have that. I know people with dogs. I got one. So I went to Wonder Lane Fabrics. And guys, let me tell y'all, they had some hardware. Oh yeah, I did win some washi tape. They had some hardware, but one of the things they did have that I had not seen before was now in bag making, you use a silver marking pen a lot, especially with my leather bag making. I use a silver marking pen quite a bit. They had a pink one. Oh my God, for $1 and something. So, and the refills, I had to get it. I literally had to get it. So the pen was $1, the refills was $1. So, ooh, Miss Marissa, that's possible. That is possible. Because the dog straps are super easy. So they had, y'all know I love zippers. They had a whole bunch of different zipper pulls. Look at those limes. Y'all know I love green too. So they had lime zipper pulls. This one, it's just called wallpaper, but let me try to get closer. It's called wallpaper, but it's literally just some artwork on the zipper pull. They had sunflowers, and these are black and gold sunflowers. Anything black and gold, I'm gonna get. Let me just tell you that now. They had these chime ones, so it looks like a chime. Now, it's going to be interesting if I take it out and it actually chimes, but I haven't done that, so I didn't ask either. But it looks like a chime. Oh, yeah. And they had these rainbows in black. And so I thought that was super cool. And then I just got some other regular hardware because they had the packages of them. What's this one? This is antique brass. That was black. And then the rainbow, because they all came in everything. But that was the Sacramento Sack Bag. And so it was the first year this year. And they have already scheduled for next year. When I tell you, there were so many fun things that I learned, and I cannot wait to make my other 2 bags, because I will always say in bag making, your first bag is always your learning bag. It 100% your learning bag. Your second bag, that one is your perfection bag. Now, I can't really say that about this bag, because let me tell y'all, this is the learning bag. The learning bag is on point. So when I make the second one, I cannot wait, because this one has traveled from Sacramento to Doha, Qatar, and India. Like, it's been in the Middle East. It's been to India. Look, this bag been all over the place in the last 3-4 weeks, and it is still looking amazing. So I did a good job. If I have to say so myself, good job. So yes, that was a sack bag, and so they are having it again next year in Sacramento, same location. So it will be the second year for that next year. The other thing that I learned while I was there was the tennis shoes. So the tennis shoes that I made, that you all have seen all over my social media page, that was that was done. I made these by hand. So what we did in the class was we had a whole bunch of prep work. So quilting my cotton and all of that. We had to have all that stuff done before we got there. What we did when we got there was actually cut them out. Excuse me. Oh, hi, Shia. So the pattern is by Lynn's Handmade. It's called the Rayna, Rayna. And I have a video 2 Sundays ago, and the link to the pattern is in there. But look, I don't know if Miss Eve is in here, but honey, these bling strings are blinging it up on my little shoes. And the sad thing was, though, these shoes are too big. Like when I went to walk around in them, my foot was way up here. I was like, well, I'll be. The shoes run big. And so I did 2 different techniques. On this one, I did something called a whip stitch, which is where I sewed it down and came back and sewed the whole thing twice. But it was because I was skipping stitches as I went. This one, with the white stitching, I actually used an owl, which is a sewing owl and a needle to create a different type of stitch look. And so because I used 2 different stitch types, I got to choose which one I like. And in this one, I really think I like the hand sewing. So I think I like this better. And I'm going to tell you why. I feel like my stitches on here are way tighter. Now, granted, with the sewing awl, I need to understand and fix. I need to fix my tension, because when you're sewing with the sewing awl, you have to pull and push to get the tension, the same as we would do on our sewing machine. But you have a pull motion with the owl and a pull motion over here on this side to have that tension. And so because of that, I feel like a lot of this is not as tight as it is with this. Like this shoe here, yeah, there is nothing. Like it's awesome. So what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to actually take them apart, because I found some more fabric that I want to use, and these soles I'm gonna reuse. But yeah. So, but these are a little bit big, but they came out amazing. I walked around in them, everything. I mean, it felt comfortable. It was just they was a little too big. But other than that, and my little bling strings, they were on point. So yes, so I really enjoyed making these. And as you see, I took them with me to India. So that was what I did when I got back in the room, although I was probably sleepy half the time, but I was trying to make sure I was staying awake. And not going to sleep. So yeah, I really enjoyed making these. It was pretty fun. I like stitching, use the harness or saddle. Yes. So, and I have those, but I was traveling, so I didn't take them with me. Plus I needed room for my fabric that I was going to buy. Let's see. The other thing. So I made this. I took it to the Sack Bag and Sew. And I've been selling these all week. So what this is this holds my M bobbins. So for the machine back there, it holds the M bobbins, and I'm quite sure it probably will hold like a 15 as well for our regular sewing machines. But this up here is for like your needles and maybe even some clips or something you can put up in here. But yeah, so that's one of the things there. And I've been working on those. These are on my website if anybody is looking for that. And they fit inside the drawer on the side of the industrial machine too. It does fit inside of there. All right. The only other thing that I have to show you all in show and tell today is this leather. So since the shoes were too big, I went over to Tandy. They let me exchange my other soles and I got new soles, but I found this leather that they had. What did they call it? They call it debossed. But do you see? I love the pattern on here. Now here's the thing with leather. When they're doing leather like this and they're making it, no two hides come out the same. They may be very close, but a lot of times it does not come out the same. And so this one, I cannot wait to make one of those bags from Sacramento into this leather right here because it's so pretty. And then they had this. Now, when I tell y'all this feels like butter, it is like a dark silver. But oh my God, this leather is freaking amazing. Like it feels wonderful. And this one is sheepskin. And when I tell you they did the colors on here and the pattern is gorgeous. Like it almost looked like butterflies. Like look, I see so many things in this pattern. It's ridiculous. I ain't gonna tell you what all I see, but I love it. It's like a dark silver and it's an amazing size hide. So I mean it's really, really pretty. So I absolutely love this. So stay tuned to see what we'll make with this later. All right. What's everybody working on? Anybody buy anything else? I think Shay Shay said she went shopping this week. Anybody buy anything? Anybody do anything fun this week? I know Miss Linda was on vacation, so she had herself a good old time. Yes, please. Thank you, Miss Joy. Please don't forget to hit the like button, guys. We're getting ready to start looking at the AccuQuilt versus the ScanNCut. All right, so Miss Barb says sheepskin is so soft. It is. She says, I have a bunch of lamb skin and metallic. Now, I have some lamb too, Miss Barb. Oh my God. It is beautiful and it feels amazing. Shasha says she's finishing up her pumpkin wall hanging. Yay. Miss Keisha is organizing her space. Ooh, binding. I have a video coming out on binding this week. Keisha says she got her kit in. Yay. Miss Kristen says, look like those neat old school tin tiles. You know what? I didn't even think about that. Yes. I need you to make me something to put my rulers in. Oh, you know what? I was looking at one of those today, Miss Joy. The 3D ruler holder. Okay, I got you on that. I'm assuming you wanted purple. That would be a nice bag. Yes. Not sure about the shoes on that one. I've been organizing my space too. Yes, ma'am. I had to get those because I needed some more the thicker thread, the more text thread. I had to do something. You know what? Let me show y'all something because one of the things, here's one of the other things I made. So I have my little caddy. It's pretty much my what I call caddy of rotary cutters because here's my paper rotary cutter. Like, look, you cannot cut anything in my room with paper if it doesn't say paper. Ooh, Miss Kristen got her new computer set up. There you go. So each one of the vendors at the Second So show had to give away 2 items. They wanted you to give 2 items. So I made this little holder. It's a bag and so, right? So I had to make a bag. Why not? I mean, what? It was, y'all know me. We got to be extra. So they said, 2 things. So I made a a caddy that looked like a handbag. Why not? Right? So that was one of my little gifts and it was pink. But one of the things that I really love is amazing tape. And if you've never used Hugo's amazing tape, let me tell you, it is the best. So with this thread, it will unravel fast on you, so you have to be careful because it's really really thick. Y'all can see it. It is super thick thread, right? So this amazing tape, I normally wrap around my thread so that it doesn't go all over the place. And so with the amazing tape, you can reuse it. It sticks on itself. It's like saran wrap. It is like saran wrap. So, but I use that so that my threads are unraveling. Yes. I should be knitting right now, but being lazy. Come on, Miss Kristen, you can do that. Oh, thank you all. Thank you all. So let me tell you. Let's talk about. Oh, Miss Kristen says she's chilling. I mean, Miss Chrissy, she says she's chilling. Miss Barb says I'm 3D printing modular drawer storage. Ooh, for my filament. I have 6 drawers done. My goal is 9 drawers. It holds 8. You know what? Miss Linda did that a few weeks ago. She was printing all those drawers for her filament. Oh, thank you. Yes, I love that holder. I like it. I like it a lot. She says, "Oh, snap those pants." Okay, girl. Look. Yes. So let's talk about the AccuQuilt. Now, I own the AccuQuilt Go Big. Now, if you are new here, my name is Sean, Go Savvy Designs. We're here every Sunday, 6 p.m. Rain, shine, sleet, snow, US or not. She says this live is really timely. My husband is buying an AccuQuilt for me Christmas. Yes. Look, tell him. Look, AccuQuilt really does run sales at Christmas. Like if you have one and you're thinking about buying dyes, Christmas, Black Friday, they have an amazing sale. They have an amazing sale. Oh, she says I can squeeze it to them. Girl, you a mess. But yes, so let me tell y'all. So I have the AccuQuilt Go Big, and I have one of the older ScanNCuts, but it's still a DX. I have like the 225F. And so the big Chrissy, did you say you need dyes? Did she just say that? Girl, bye. Whatever. We're not talking to her. She's a distraction over there. Sean, are you wearing scissors? Yes, ma'am. So look, when I'm working in my craft room, I have my scissors clipped on me with a one of them little clips. And I'm always wearing scissors, especially when I'm up here. And because you never know when you need to cut something. I have to go get me and can figure out what the dies that I can fit. So let me tell you. Oh, you have to go me and can never figure out what dyes will fit. Okay, we can talk about that too. Yes, Chrissy, because you're talking about you need some dyes. You need no more dyes, ma'am, with 100 and some dyes over there. Are those Tim Holt scissors? Let me see. Yes, they are, DB. I don't even know how you could see that. But yes, ma'am, these are the Iconics. Y'all know I'm a scissors girl. Look, if you are new, yeah, badge reels are not just for badges, honey. Over here, we be using things for things that they don't. I mean, you know what I'm saying. We be using things for things and things and things. Like all the things we can use, we multi-purpose things. So I love these little scissors, and they have like, are these the one with the perforated ends too? Like they get in there. They like snip, snip, snip. They get in there. Those, and I also love my Kais because I have those too. You know what? I'm sorry, Karen Bailey. These are Karen K. Bailey. And I have some Kais too. But let me tell y'all, me and scissors, we got all of them. How about that? Girl, I thought Sean had created some new realistic 3D. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Those are my real scissors. And I always have them on because if I'm up here cutting something or doing something, I wear my scissors. Because and this way I'm not looking for them; they hanging off me. Like you be looking for scissors. Where are the scissors at? Look, they right here. That's all. That's all. What's the best block size starter kit? So let me tell you. I think for a starter kit, my size for me, I got the 10. I got the 10. And the only reason why I got the 10 was because I felt like 8 was kind of in the middle. 6 was way too small. I'm not doing 6. 10 was kind of like my happy medium. 12 I felt like might be a little too big. So I got the 10. That was me. But that's my personal preference because I like 10-inch blocks. I really think 10-inch blocks are a really good size. Yeah, I know Shay Shay says she wants the 12. But I mean, I think each person, depending on how you start doing your quilt life, you will learn one of the, what sizes you like, what size you don't like. Hey, Miss Patricia, welcome in. And, for me, a 10-inch block is kind of like my happy space because I already know with a 10-inch block, I'm going to need 3 yards, all this stuff. Like I'm very comfortable with my 10-inch blocks. She says I'm in my small block era. Okay, girl. Look, what's the small block though? Because some of the blocks you're making are huge. But yes, need to cut t-shirt blocks. What size would I get? Okay, so here's the thing. If you're doing t-shirts, I will start with a 12-inch block because here's the thing. If you're going to center whatever image is on the t-shirts, using the 12-inch as the guide gives you, in case somebody bought like one of those shirts that has the space all here, it's just crazy. Talk of block talk. Okay, so let me tell you, Miss Keisha, let's go back. Let's back up. So when you're quilting, and if you think about the different things that we do for blocks, there is, oh, thank you for joining. Oh, Shay Shay did a gift. Thank you for doing the gift, Shay Shay. So what happens is when you're doing when you're making quilt blocks, each block is basically a square. And when we're talking blocks, we're just talking about a square. In some cases, it could be circles, but let's talk traditional quilting. It is a block. Literally, it's a square and the size of that square. So if we take, let me get, oh, shoot. I knocked this on my sewing machine. So if you look at like this, so when you're looking at a mat that has these squares on here, you can look at each one of these blocks. She said circles scare me. Yes, we can talk about circles on one day. And curves too. There's lots of curves. So with the square, this is the size of each block. And so if we take a look here, this is a 10-inch block, a 9-inch block, an 8-inch, 7, 6, and so forth. So each one of these would constitute a block that could be your quilt block size. So as we're quilting, we make blocks that we connect together to form our quilt. So if you are looking at your mats, like each one of our quilting mats has one of these, or if you have a Cricut mat, it may have that this square on here. But this is when we say we're going to square something up, we use one of these blocks to do the squares. So if you're going to, yep. But, circles is kind of scary, but once you start doing them, you'll be okay. It gets better. It does get better. But from a block perspective, and what we're saying for blocks is just a square. And we're talking about the different sizes. So Shay Shay wants a 12-inch, so hers will be down here somewhere and way around. It'd be off my grid. But yeah, way around. So that is what we mean by blocks. It's just the square. Talking about a machine that automatically cuts these block sizes. Yes. So what happens is the ScanNCut, for example, inside of the ScanNCut, it contains different types of quilt blocks. When you look in the ScanNCut, there's an option for patterns, and you choose what size block you want to make, which will also help you to select the different type of size that you want to cut this block. So as we're looking at the different types of quilt blocks and things like that, the one that we're going to look at today, I'm doing some triangles. So we're going to look at some triangles from the AccuQuilt. We're going to look at this center one right here. And so we're going to look at triangles because I love flying geese. I'm a flying geese kind of girl. So we are going to look at triangles. But what I wanted to talk about first was kind of like some of the big differences between the AccuQuilt Go and the Brother ScanNCut, or any cutter for that matter. For like if you're using a Romeo or a Cricut, any of those, you can definitely do that. Welcome in, Jesse. So a couple things. So first off, what you'll notice is on the AccuQuilt, you have to have dies in order to cut your fabric. These dies are metal that are very, very sharp. And I'll show you one here in a minute because we're going to walk over to, I have both of the devices set up so that we can take a look at them. In the ScanNCut, it's actually kind of digital. And so you would be doing things like you would in Cricut or one of the other cutting machine in one of their applications, whereas inside of the AccuQuilt Go, you don't need an app. You're just cutting based on the actual die. She says she's been neglecting her ScanNCut and AccuQuilt. I think I saw a question. So my Loki or Cricut Joy can cut them too. It depends on the cut that the knife that you have in there or the blade that you have in there, if it cuts fabric. So it depends on if it can cut fabric. So if it can cut fabric, I'm assuming it will be able to cut whatever block you want it to cut. Now, inside of the AccuQuilt, it can cut up to 6 layers at once. So it's super fast. You can repeat shapes really quickly. You can pile on the fabric. Now, I really love having my fabric super flat. So I use flatter when I am ironing my material for the AccuQuilt so that it is as flat as it can be. And I want that cut to be very, very succinct. Now, with the ScanNCut, you can't do bulk. It's slower when you want to try to do bulk. It's precise, but I found that I don't like doing bulk then because no, it doesn't cut well. She says, I would be worried about the Cricut Joy Extra. I know the Cricut Explorer series, it needs to be bonded. Okay. Yeah, I would think so. Miss Keisha says, so if you're going to do a lot of quilting, would it be beneficial? Now, if you're going to do a lot of quilting, so this is why I actually have my AccuQuilt. Because of the fact that I started selling my quilts, that is why I invested in the AccuQuilt. Like my first Christmas that I did the Black Santa quilts, that bought my AccuQuilt because I need that, and the bow cozies. Oh my God. So my bow cozies, wow. Like literally that was a thing. The first year I made like 100 and some bow cozies and sold them all. Like it was crazy. And so bow cozies have been a really big thing. So yes. The other thing is the design. So on the AccuQuilt, you're limited to the dies that you own, or if you custom a die. So you can actually get custom dies But you would have to wait for those, but you can get them made. And so AccuQuilt does allow you to have custom dies. That's important in the event you want to make something special or you're looking for something unique. Oh, enjoy the wedding. Please come back. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. For the brother ScanNCut, you have more setup. It's adjustable, but you can't import any shape or file before cutting. So like, again, like Miss Barb was saying, she uses hers for Applique. And so with the Applique, it is 100% amazing. And the one thing that I love is the scan feature, because let me tell you, cutting some of my handbags, whoo, Jesus, we're going to just take a deep breath. But when I can cut that on the ScanNCut, it's pretty amazing. Let's see. Oh, Miss Marilyn, she says, can you talk about pricing of dies as well as custom dies? Yes, ma'am. So the dies, the price of dies really vary, right? But they do go on sale. So if you subscribe to the AccuQuilt website, you will get 1,000 emails. Let me just tell you now, they're going to spam email you. But when the sales hit, now when they run a sale, they run a sale. The sales are amazing. And let me tell you, there's also, so for those of you who are happy buyers and you're wanting to buy these AccuQuilt dies and you like, oh my God, do I have that one already? They have an app called AccuQuilt, and it will tell you a list of all the products that you own. So don't repeat the thing, because they will tell you. They keep track of it. Oh, thank you, Miss Merlinda. Look at that. Hey, Miss Karen, welcome to membership. They will tell you what you have. So go to your app, look at the dies you have. It will tell you all of the stuff that you have. Oh, it's telling me my 2-year warranty is about to expire. Wait, no. Oh, it's telling me that my 2-year extended warranty just kicked in. So that means I've already had my AccuQuilt for 2 years. And my extended warranty is kicking in. Look, I'm an extended warranty girl. Ain't nobody got time for problems. Just fix it, send it back to me. But in terms of price, I have purchased some AccuQuilt dies as low as $19 and as high as $100 and some dollars. So the dies really do cost. There's something called a block on the board. So like in the ScanNCut, they give you a complete block. In that block, it also breaks down what to put on the mat. So literally, it will show you each one. And we're going to go look at that here in a minute. It will show you each one of those things that you want to cut and tell you where to put it. So that is very important, because say for instance, like when we go look at mine, you'll see I have 2 colors on the mat. We're going to adjust it. That way you're able to see the different placement on the mat. And it works just like our Cricut, all of that kind of stuff. Now, right, Shamika. So a block on the board is called a bob. So on the AccuQuilt, when you see a bob, it's called block on the board. And that block on the board, what it is everything you need to make the one block. And if you're going to make it in several different colors, all you have to do is have your material cut in certain ways. Now, there are some people that say that you waste a lot of fabric when you're cutting your material. I say no. I don't waste a lot of material, because I measure my blocks to see where the cutting pieces are. And I just cut my little squares just to fit that, so it'll cut my thing. I don't put I try my best not to put a whole sheet on there, so I'm not wasting a whole lot of fabric. Because, we got scrap projects we can do. Now, the other thing, when you're thinking about the machine and the ongoing die costs, it can become costly with the AccuQuilt. Now, when you're thinking about machine, the blades, potential files for the brother ScanNCut, because it's less dependent on dies, it's a little bit cheaper because the initial investment into both of the machines is probably around the same price point of $400 to $600 plus. Like, especially if you're buying like a bundle, because each one of them offers bundles to get started. Now, with the brother ScanNCut, it does not come with the scanning mat. You have to buy your own scanning mat. Now, when I tell you the scanning feature is amazing in the brother ScanNCut, like hands down, my favorite part about it. Could you scan and cut? Also cut rhinestone flat? Absolutely. Let me tell you what. At one point, brother used to sell a rhinestone template package, all of that. Honey, let me tell you, that rhinestone application is so easy. It is so easy to use and to set up. Yes, Shay, the mats are inexpensive, especially compared to some of the others. Now, the biggest thing is when you have a ScanNCut and you decide to go to Amazon and you want to buy mats, you have to make sure you're buying the right mat for the ScanNCut. For example, there's a DX version of the ScanNCut and a non-DX version, which is the older versions. So if you're buying for the DX, you have to make sure that you're buying the DX version of the mat. And Shay's right. You can only use the brother mat because it's looking for all of the information on that ScanNCut mat. And I'll show you that here in a minute. Keisha says, because I've been playing around with that and I need a good cutter for that. It would be amazing to use for both. Yes. I think the biggest thing with being able to cut your mat is it has that half. It has you don't have to go all the way deep. Like literally there's a half option where it doesn't cut all the way through the flock. So all the way through the flock and the paper. So like literally it does some really good half cuts. And so yes, look, Miss Barb says ScanNCut mats are way cheaper than AccuQuilt dies. They are. And so, I think the best takeaways from this and what I like is for my AccuQuilt, it is definitely best for me as a quilter that wants speed, precision, being able to cut in bulk, and being able to repeat a shape. Like that for me, hands down, is the fastest part because, like I said, when I'm doing my bow cozies for Christmas, when I'm working on certain types of quilts, and when I want certain shapes, and if I'm doing strips and all of that, it's 100% very fast. For my brother's ScanNCut, it's best for any custom designs, anything I want to scan, applique. I have versatility when I'm doing like a cross sewing and crafting. Like again, the rhinestone template, which is very hard to find now, but those two things, especially with the DX machine, is very, very important to me because like I love cutting my applique on there. It gives you precision in the shapes. And Shay, I think you may have done cut out one of your earlier when you first got yours, one of your earlier applique things with your ScanNCut. It's like so much easier. Now, there's also things that the AccuQuilt has, the dies that are amazing. For example, they got football dies, they have alphabet dies, stuff that would really make, if you were making like kids quilts and you always want to do alphabets in there and things like that. If you were doing different types of shapes and things like that, it is 100% amazing when it comes to being able to do that stuff in bulk and being able to have it cut out and all of that. So let's take a look at the machines because I do have them up. So let me go over here. All right, so I have it on the ScanNCut right now, but let me, I was supposed to say what I do with the remote. So let's back this up a little bit. Keisha, and buying pre-cuts is more expensive by the yard. Yeah. So yeah, having something that can cut it out for you is definitely a good thing. Let's see. I think I had a different screen. Let me find it. This one. Okay, there we go. All right, I need to find my phone because I don't have it. I can't see my, when I go over here, I won't be able to see the, okay, now I'm trying to make sure I can see you guys' stuff in the chat. Okay, so now we're gonna go over here to the ScanNCut, and what I'm gonna do, I also have on this same table my AccuQuilt. And I have both of them right here. So let me back this up so you can see. I do have both of them, as you can see right there. So this is the AccuQuilt Go Big. This is the electric one. And it pulls out. Now, when we were talking about the dies, let's turn it on. So there are different types of dies. This one is a part of the 10-inch die. And so with this, along this line right here, and I'm trying not to touch it because there are blades here and around everywhere you see that there is dark on all those edges, there are blades there. And so these are the dies. This is the half triangles. And so it already has, if you see right here, if you were making a half triangle yourself, you would not have these little V's. You would actually have to cut those off. And so the one thing I really like about the dies is that it already takes out a lot of the work. So it's already going to have these little dog ears cut off for you. So then when you're stitching just to get it done. So you're just stitching. Now, we were talking about the different, what are these things called? The mats. So with the mat, down here at the bottom, there is an arrow. So there's an arrow right here to show you which way it goes. But there's also all of this information here that the ScanNCut actually reads. And so when it reads this is what's telling it that it is a Brother ScanNCut mat. Now this Go mat, on each of the mats, it tells you what the mat is used for. So on this one, this is our fabric mat. The Go is the fabric mat. There's also a corresponding gold blade that you would cut with as well. So you have both of those. So like there's different types of mats, and the AccuQuilt, the Brother ScanNCut also takes it will allow for the 12 by 24-inch mat as well. So you have both of those things. Let me check and see if anybody have questions. Does it have to have a certain number for the DX? No, ma'am. It could be any DX. So as long as your mat down here at the bottom, let's put this here. So down here at the bottom of the mat, it will have a DX in the number. I don't know if you can see that clearly, but there's a DX in the number right there at the bottom to let you know that there is that is for the DX. So making sure that you get the right mat, because there are some mats that do not have DX on them. I had one, but I threw it away because I ordered the wrong thing off Amazon. So you got to make sure you're getting the right thing. So, oh, Miss Barb, we got the same one. That's what I have. I have the SDX225F. So you still have to cut to a particular size. Yes, ma'am, you do. You do. So yeah, so my model is at least 6 years old. Because I bought this thing like maybe 2016. I think I bought it. So well, shoot, 2016. That means it's 9 years old. So like I've had this thing a long time, and it still cuts. It still does all the things. As a matter of fact, when I turned it on today, it got an update. So if you have a brother ScanNCut, turn it on because there's an update out there. And so what we're going to do today is, so with the ScanNCut, you literally, let me show you what my scan mat looks like. I actually got something on my scan mat I haven't scanned yet. So this is the scan mat. And you see I got a little angel on there because I was making something for my quilt gill. So with the scan mat, it actually has literally a cover over it. But you have to buy this separately. So this does not come in any of the packages. You buy this one separately. And so this is your scan mat. The one thing I don't like about the scan mat, it doesn't have my little hook because I hang all of my mats up. They're all hung up. So I just put this one over here in the corner. And so this is where I keep this one over here. It's underneath my rhinestone. My rhinestone transfer sheet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've already picked my image, and well, I had picked it. So with the ScanNCut, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pick an image. I already have my fabric on here. It's redded. I'm going to bring you all in a little bit closer. Says you could probably punch holes. Yeah, you could do holes. Yes. I miss. Does Sean have anything on her fabric? Yes, I do. I have fabric. I have something on the fabric mat. We're going to cut something. Let's see if I can get in close so you all can see the screen. I'm trying. Yay, we got there. Up a little bit. There we go. You can see it. Yay. Okay, so let me show you what I'm about to do now. So here's what we have. I'm going to go into patterns. From patterns, it allows me to pick shapes and things. And so then there's different things. Like you can do all kinds of things with the ScanNCut, which is really good. But today we're focusing on quilting. So with this, I'm going to pick this one, and I have more shapes. Remember I told you I was going to focus on triangles, so I'm going to pick this one. Now right here, this is where I can create the block size that I want. So right now it is set at a 9-inch block. I'm okay with 9 inches. 10 is better, but I'm gonna do 9. We'll be good with that. Then I'm gonna click OK. When I click OK here, it's gonna give me all the different things. So I have an A, B, and a C. So it's telling me that I can pick and have these cut one at a time, or I can just have it do all of them at one time. I'm going to do one at a time, so I'm going to pick A. And so A are these sides right here. And so we're going to say, okay. Now it has my size for my hexagon. I'm calling it a hexagon. I don't know. It's a square, a triangle. I'm going to hit set. It brought both of them in. Now I know that's probably really difficult to see, but it brought both of those in. Huh? Can you put heat and bond on the back of your fabric and still cut it? Yes, ma'am, you can. What's the spool thread? I'm missing something. So yes, I'm using fabric. I don't have anything special on my fabric. I have an African print, and I'm using a batik. So all I'm gonna do is click OK. I'm okay with this. I'm gonna select cut because that's what I wanted to do. The good thing about the ScanNCut, one of the things, you can run a test on this to see if the pressure's good and all of that. I always allow it to do auto because auto is going to check it for me and make sure that I'm in the right place. Now, the one thing that I am going to check is to make sure that I am okay with the cut. I think it might go a little bit past here on my mat. And let me back you up a little bit because you can't really see my fabric. So give me a sec here. Okay. Ooh, sorry, I went too far. My bad. Okay, come back in. Okay, I'm doing too much. Hold on. I'm sorry. Look away. I hope it's not making anybody dizzy. Okay, I'm trying to come back out. I'm just trying to come out slower this time than me holding it. I suck. Okay, hold on. I gotta look at it. Okay, so here's what we got. So let me take it out. I'll take it out really quickly so you can see the fabric. So I did have the fabric. So here is the fabric that I'm using today. It's a couple different pieces. This and a batik up at the top. So I'm just gonna load it in. And then once I load it, I've already got it all set up. It's loaded. Uh-oh, it says my mat cannot be recognized. Unload the mat. All right, let's put it in again. All right, now it's ready. So now I'm just going to start it and let it cut. Replace the mat with a 12 by 24 inch mat. What? Why? Oh, let me make sure. Okay, so I got to go over here. Let me go back because evidently inside of here, I have my mat set up as 12 by 24. So I need to change my mat size. Where is it? All right, cut. Let's go back. Nope, I'm not trying to scan. Edit. Cut area. There we go. Okay. And okay. So now I changed my mat size. Going back to cut default. And now we can start. It's going to take 1 minute to cut this out. Now, in the meantime, while that's cutting, what I can do with this is I'll take several layers. So I have some African fabrics. 1, 2, 3, 4 layers that I have pretty flat. I'm going to lay them on this block. And so I want to make sure that they are laid on the block. And it covers all the edges so that it's right there. I'm going to do the same. I think my pink is smaller, so let me put this on here first. And as long as I cover my pink with the blue. And so all I'm doing is making sure that this covers the cutting area so that I get my shapes that I wanted. And you can do up to 6 layers. So I'm just doing 4 right now because that's all I need for my block. Now, the other thing that I need for this that comes with it is a 10-inch mat that goes on top of here so that when I put it inside of my cutter, it just lays flat. So let me get a mat for this. And all a mat does is it is the one thing that presses down on top of, and so this is my 10-inch blocks. And so this mat presses down on top of the die to make sure it helps the blade to come out. So you put it right on top, and so you'll have this just like this. And then once it presses through, it presses this down, the blades come up and it cuts your fabric. All right, so now this is telling me to select the next part. The ScanNCut is telling me, hey girl, select the next part you want to cut. Because I just cut that, I'm done with that. What else you want to do? And so let's say select the next part. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this up. And so I should have my 2 pieces cut. And they are so my 2 pieces are cut. Make sure didn't cut through that. So these are my 2 pieces. Now we'll take the next part, which are 2 more rectangular pieces. Let me grab a piece of material for that. And I have some over here cut. We'll use some of this purple down here. Oh, darn it, man. Look at that. I thought so. So all my paper, my fabric wasn't big enough for that first part. So I'm gonna have to cut that a little bit more. So that probably means that I need to turn it this way. Let's see. Set. Yeah. Yep. I need to turn it. I don't think that's wide enough. So let's see. Let's get a bigger piece of material. Maybe this. Yeah, this would be wide enough. Now, sometimes I do take my brayer and I will smooth this out with the brayer just to make sure that it's all down. So you can do that. Now I'm going to click OK here. Select and cut again because that's all I want to do. Now the ScanNCut will do a pressure test for you. Now I think I'm not close enough to the edge here. So let's move it over just a little bit and down a tad. Because I want to make sure it does cut out the entire piece. All right, so that's all the way there. So now I'm going to hit start there. Now on the AccuQuilt. So here's what happens with that. I'm going to back out a little bit more, and I'll come look at the comments here in a second. I brought my phone over here to try to look at it, but let me tell y'all, that's been difficult. Okay. Hey, Miss Steve, welcome in. All right. It reminds me of 60s dyes. Okay. So now that's done. And did it cut? Showing out over here. I don't believe it cut. I feel something. Hold on. Oh, get halfway cut. Okay. That didn't do right. Let's run that again. I'm not really sure what happened there. So yeah, let's start that again. And it may be time for this kid to put a new rotary blade in here. Okay, so for the AccuQuilt, what I'm going to do, remember I have 4 layers. The only thing that happens with the AccuQuilt, let's see, I'm trying to move this back a little bit so you all can see the AccuQuilt. It literally is so fast. It's really amazing. Okay. I'm trying to bring it into frame. All right, there we go. We got it. And I'll pull it up a little bit. You all will see these pieces in something soon. Okay, so let's pull this off and then we will look. I'm having a cutting issue today. I should have ran that twice too. I think I may, because I have my rotary cutter blade in here and I'm feeling like it cut the first one. It's finished. I'm trying to figure out what's happening because normally this would have just ran through this pretty easily. But I've been cutting leather, so it may be time. So it kind of cut it out, sort of, kind of. Like if I get my little snip, see, this is why I wear scissors on me. I can just finish cutting it out right there. And we'll do that in a second. But for the most part, it is kind of cut. And I didn't mean kind of, but you can see the shapes right there. So like, and it still has some strings right there. But yeah, I think I may need a new rotary blade because before I left, I was cutting all that faux leather. So let's take this out. Now, that's one of the things that I would say is maybe a con to the ScanNCut is a lot of times we end up having to run it multiple times. And so with running the machine multiple times, sometimes it's kind of frustrating because you're like, okay, I just wanted it to cut and now I'm having to cut it 4 or 5 times. But with this AccuQuilt, with any of the AccuQuilts, you can actually buy a catcher. Ain't nobody paying $200 for no catcher. I will catch it. Okay, here we go. So, but there's like a little table thing you can buy. Yeah. So remember, I have 4 pieces of fabric. The way I consider mine going in, there's a caution thing right here. And I always use this as my guide to what goes in. So caution goes into me first, and then I put it into my machine that way. And so there are lines on the die that kind of guides you. You want to stay within all of these borders. And so literally all I do is slide it in and it comes out over here. See the catcher? Here's the catcher for $200 right here in my hand. There you go. All right, so the other thing is, with this being electric, there is friction. So the one thing that I always do first is kind of rub it, but then I take it at an angle and I slide it off because there is friction. Now, okay, y'all ready? Hold on. Let me bring y'all in close so y'all can see me take this off. Hold on. I'm trying to get it over there. Okay. All right. Y'all can see it now. So let me tell you. Oops, one more. And over. All right. So here we go. So we have it. We slid it off. This was our cutting mat. Now, if I just take a corner, pull it off, Just like that. I got my cuts. And so, literally, I got my cuts. And so these are my triangles. And they are ready for sewing. Like literally, I can make that little square that I showed y'all that I want to make with the triangles. And so there are so many. I was telling you all about the block on the board. So let me show you a couple of blocks on the board. So there are so many. Let's get a bob. And then let's get, there are all different types of things. So let's see what y'all can see. Let me back up a little bit. I apologize for this. But this is considered a block on the board. And when it's a block on the board, you can make the entire block just by cutting it with one thing. On the back, you see the full thing that you can make. You also have the directions for the block, and it's called a bob. Right here, you'll have an orange thing called a bob. That's a block on the board. We also talked about different shapes that you can buy. And so like this, you can buy different shapes to make applique to end up with a quilt like that, or a quilt block like this one with a football in the middle, applique. There are also equilateral triangles, squares, hexagons. Remember, I told y'all I like shapes, geometric shapes. That's me. And so there are also, someone was talking about the different block sizes you can buy. Now I have the 10. And what that means is there with the AccuQuilt Go, there's what's called the mix and match blocks. With the mix and match blocks, you can make hundreds of different scenarios and different shapes. And so what I purchased was the 10-inch block set. So they have a ton of different sets that you can have for your different shapes that you want to cut out. And with each one of these, it tells you on the back what types of blocks. So I have the square, I have the half triangles, and the quarter triangles. It gives you, it comes with a starter kit DVD, your cutting mat, and all of your other blocks, or all of the other dies that you would need for that. Now, here's one of the things that I always do. So I just put that block back. Let me put my cutting mat back in here, because I really like making sure my stuff is back in the right spot, because I don't want to lose this. There are also a number of different mats that you can actually buy. And I have a video, if you have one of these AccuQuilts, I have a video on the channel that talks about how to clean your mats, how to clean your dies, because that is important. You will need to clean them. It makes a difference. The maintenance on your dies is important, so you have to do that. So there are other types of dies. You can buy dies that are just cut in 2.5-inch strips. You can buy them that cut the 5-inch strips, 4-inch, 3-inch, 6-inch, 2.5, 2.14, 2 1/4. So like literally you can buy them, and I'll put my little dies back, in all different sizes. Let's see, what's the unique die? Oh, there are also dies. Y'all know I like handbags, right? So, and Carolina Moore is one of my peoples. So when she came out with her box bag die, it is a whole die to make the box bag. And this is from Carolina Moore. And AccuQuilt just partnered with Sally Tomato. So I'm hoping I'll get to see the owner of Sally Tomato this week. And we'll talk about that dye too, because I think it's really cool. But yes, so this is Carolina Moore's box bag. It's a 2 dye set, so it came in a set. Haven't even opened it yet, but yeah. And then you can get things like circles. People that are scared of circles, you can just cut your own with the dye. Now, I think the only other thing, or the only other thing, if I was picking which one of these would I buy, both of them, because I did, and because I use them for different things. So because I use them for different things, this is why I have them both. Now, technically, my AccuQuilt I purchased because I was doing so many bowl cozies. And so the bowl cozy dye was a dye that was a must-have for me. And so depending on that, now I'm going to tell y'all something. You know how we cleaned our Cricut mats, our other mats, and all those things? So with this, only thing I use to clean my mat is LA Awesome, little LA Awesome, low water, and a scraper. That's it. Stuff comes off. Do not dry it with anything. Let it air dry. The stickiness comes right back. I have never seen anything like it. The stickiness comes right back. Like literally. Okay. So I turn that off. Where are my little squares? My triangles. Got my triangles. The one thing I wanted to show you all was that if we stitch this up, then literally we could have our cool little triangles in a matter of minutes, right? So easy. Yes, Miss Barb, and you need storage for your dies. Trying to think where I could store them in the shop. Yes. So for my dies, I actually have them on a shelf. I have them on shelves. One shelf right next to that my table that it's on, and then I have the smaller ones and another shelf right here underneath my table here. A box bag die. Yes, Shay Shay, a box bag die. Let's see. I watched the cleaning video. Yes. I want some more strip dies. Yes, the strip dies are awesome because they just help you do that. Is there a lot of fabric waste with the AccuQuilt cutting? So, Miss Marina, I think that it depends on you. So, what I normally do is I take and I line mine up with the actual fabric and I cut really close. So because of that, I don't have as much waste. But I think it depends on you and not just being too quick to just lay it out there. If you lay it out there and then you take it and kind of square it up around what you're trying to cut out, it won't be as much waste. I feel like it's about the same as what you would do with one of the cutting machines too. So like if I was doing it on a ScanNCut, very similar to that as well. So let's see. What else? Oh Lord. Is that Miss Eve? You talking about Miss Linda ain't asked about going on vacation? Okay, so I think a couple things. So cutting method with the AccuQuilt Go, you have to have the metal dies. With the Brother ScanNCut, it's digital. You have to have software. There's a built-in scanner. For speed and layers, with the AccuQuilt Go, you can cut up to 6 layers and it's super fast to repeat similar shapes, right? And then with the Brother ScanNCut, 1 layer at a time. And It's precise, but you can't really do bulk. For design and flexibility, for the AccuQuilt, you're limited to the die that you have. And then for the ScanNCut, you can import any design that you want. You can even scan it in. So you have more creative freedom with the ScanNCut. And then for ease of use, I think both are pretty simple. With the AccuQuilt Go, you just literally lay your fabric in the area that's designated for the cut, press a button, and it's done. You have more setup with the ScanNCut. So, scans you have to import, you have to align your files. It just takes a little bit more time. And so then for the cost. So Miss Marilyn did ask me about the pricing. And so the machine is your major cost for both, but the additional cost comes with the dies. So being able to cut and knowing which dies that you want, while when you get the cubes, you do have more options of what you can do. The block on the boards are really good. Thank you, Denzel. The block on the boards are really good. The different types, but like I said, sale happens Black Friday and right before Christmas on AccuQuilt. I've not seen it any other time as much of a discount that you will get Black Friday and leading into Christmas. So stay tuned for that, because there are sales that come around the dies and things like that. And Chrissy, go sit down. She's talking about she want more dies. Chrissy got like 100 and some dies. She probably got a catalog over there. So she wants another die. Mm-hmm. So the what else? I think that's it for the AccuQuilt. Miss Eve, you saw my bling shoes? Where they at? I was showing them my bling strings, girl. My bling strings. The bling was blinging, hunty. As Shay Shay would say, the bling was blinging. And I didn't notice it until the other day that the strings actually had bling on the string down there. But yes. I love them. I can't wait for the next pair. I got those rainbow strings. I think I bought the rainbow strings the first. And so, yes, they came out good. Although these are too big for me, I had to go back to the store. Let's see the bling. See if y'all can see the bling. I had to go back to the store and get some smaller ones, but I got smaller ones, so I'll make some more. And I used the black thread on these and the cream thread on these. So like my shoes got two different threads. But hey, when you creative like this, you just do it. But yes. And I used two different stitch methods. So this one was used with an awl and a thing. And then this one I used whip stitch. So I sewed all the way around, came back. So it was a whip stitch with this one. So two different sewing techniques. But my blingy shoestrings that I got from Miss Eve that I really love. So she made the wrong size. I know. But this is supposed to fit, but they run large. So, oh well. I will be making me some more. I was gonna make some more anyway, but I really will be making some more. What else? There was one more thing. Hey, Miss Linda, you made it. What was the other thing I thought about while I was over there at the ScanNCut? So, the cleaning the ScanNCut is important. So here's the thing. If for some reason in your scans, when you start scanning, and scanning is one of those great things that where you can scan any image, make any applique you want, all of those things. If for some reason in your scan you start seeing a line or something like, you need to clean your ScanNCut. I have a video on cleaning your ScanNCut as well, because at one point I see this black line on all my scans. I'm like, what is that? It was a piece of vinyl stuck to the back of the scanner. Like a whole piece of vinyl. Making all these black strips in my scan. I was like, what is that black strip? But it was a piece of vinyl making a mess of my scans. So if you all have enjoyed the content, please make sure you do a thumbs up. If you haven't decided to subscribe, please consider subscribing. What was the other thing I had thought about? Oh, so we were doing when we were making the other bags. And I thought I had brought them up here, but I didn't. They're downstairs. So we're making the other bags at the Sacramento second. So one of the things came to question was because I sewed on a TL QVP, my regular machine. One of the things that we were talking about was, do you have alcohol wipes near your machine? Because, when you're using double-sided tape and things like that, your needles can get sticky, right? So I got all kinds of alcohol wipes near me. So I got these so you can wipe off your needles. I also have, there's the Microtech needles that actually are like, they have like a silicone to them. So it doesn't have any of that. So then like that's a 70% alcohol wipe, but I also keep these little things in my travel bag. So these are also alcohol wipes. So, just keeping some alcohol wipes near your machine is a good thing, because if you're using spray adhesive, if you're using some type of adhesive, double-sided tape, or any of that stuff, you can wipe your needle off. So that way you won't get gumming of the needle and all of that, but keeping you some alcohol. But yes, I'm trying to think. Let's see what Miss Joy said. Oh, thank you, Miss Rory. Appreciate it. What size did you get in the shoe? So, one of this shoe, so they run European sizes, and so the shoe that I purchased was a 42, which the way they have it made it 11 and a half. I just needed an 11. They don't sell 11s, so I went and got a 41, which is a 10 and a half. So they run them on a half size. So I'm gonna see if this 10 and a half, cross my fingers, it will work. I have the 90%. Yes, ma'am. So I have 90% down in my 3D room. And I have D something alcohol too. But I do have that in my thing. Let me show y'all. So let me put this quick block together. I'm gonna use one of these little boards. Oh, this isn't big enough. I need to get my bigger board. So guys, one of the other things that we tend to have in our spaces. Oh, this isn't right. I need 4. Yeah, this really is small. Is our design boards. And I saw Miss Marilyn did a design board thing. I actually have a design wall on this room over here. So when we were doing, I know they fit. It's just too big. When I was walking around in them, I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna have to wear like 5 pair of socks." Or as them little kids when you were growing into your shoes, stuff something in there. Like I felt like I needed to stuff something in my shoe so that my foot wouldn't move. So I have, in terms of design walls, I have a whole wall that's dedicated to my larger quilts. But I also use this for when I travel, because this breaks down pretty quickly. And so my wall is over there, and you've seen it. Like if you've seen, I think I did a small TikTok or something, not TikTok. I did a small YouTube short or something that shows all of the quilts that I had made to date. at that point. And you'll see my design wall in there. But this one I travel with. And so this one breaks down. It has its own little bag and all this kind of stuff. So that way I can take it with me. And I'm trying to remember. Yeah. So this would end up being a block. And it just depends. And that, like I told you, on the AccuQuilt, the good thing is it cuts off those little tips, so you don't have to worry about cutting them off. It's a precise block. It becomes a precise block. And so this ends up being my block. Make my points match up. But yeah. So that'll end up being the block. And it's the ones. So this is the whole little quilt thing. And this came with my AccuQuilt Go Big. But they have little things in there. And so you can make whatever block you want. I have not measured this, so I'm not really sure what size it is. This doesn't have numbers on it. Let's see. I was going to measure it to see how big this is, because these should be 5 inches finished. And that's another thing. So when you see something that says 5 inches finished, that means they have taken into consideration the seam allowance. And most seam allowances are 1/4 inch. Oops. Let me move my chair because I'm knocking my stuff down. So when I'm over here doing stuff like this, I normally put it in this chair. And so this is like how I like to work. So I can do it like this. So this way I can see how I like it to look. Now I'm going to be doing this anyway because I got to finish my block of the month for my quote guild. And if you're in so this one will probably finish right at 8. So I'll probably finish right at an 8-inch block, maybe close to 7.5. But if I'm on point, it should be good for that. But yeah, so this is like my travel board. It collapses down really quickly. This one, let's see. That is 24. So I'm going to say it maybe 32 by 32. I know you mentioned sales on AccuQuilt during the holidays. Does the same apply for the ScanNCut? No. So, well, maybe. So here's what happens, especially if you buy from a brother dealer. They run sales all year around. And if you attend like conferences and things like that, a lot of times they actually have sales happening at the conferences for the brother ScanNCut. But I would talk to your local brother dealer. I actually have some links to some that are on sale right now on Amazon in the description. So you can check them out there as well, because both Brother and AccuQuilt have Amazon stores. And there is a 125. That's the one that Miss Linda has. She has the SDX 125, which she loves. It does all the same things that mine does. And yeah, so you can find them cheaper, but they still do a lot of the same things. I know you mentioned, okay, yep. Let me see. How many dies come with the Go Big? So with the Go Big, I think it's only 2 that comes with it normally, but you can buy a package. So they do have it available where you can buy a package. And I think the 2 that comes with it normally When I bought mine, I think it was like, I don't know. I don't remember the ones that actually came with it, but there are a couple that does come with it. The other thing to think about if you're going to look at the AccuQuilt is the fact that with the AccuQuilt, there's also the you have the app that will track the stuff that you've already purchased. If some that you get outside, you can buy. So yes, ma'am, Cube. You said Cube. What about the Cube? So the Cube is the one thing that I showed that I actually have the 10-inch cube. So there's different size cubes that you can purchase. 10, 8, 12, and I think they just released the 16. So if you want massive blocks, you can get the 16. And the Cube has a ton of different, they call them the mix and match. So you can mix and match and have all the different things with it. So the Cube is just the different types of blocks that come standard that you can actually cut different shapes with. I really like this pillow. Y'all know I like pillows. Look at that. That's cute. I might do that. That's really cute. And it's done with triangles. It is all flying geese. Like this book is full of flying geese. That is all triangles. I think that might be me. All right. Anything else? Anything else, ladies and gentlemen? I think we have done a lot. We talked about a whole lot. I went through my little stash from Sacramento. If you missed my India haul, check out last Sunday because I bought some beautiful fabric. You will see it soon. I 100% promise you that. You will be seeing it soon. And I got to go back and grab some of my fabric. Now, Tuesday, for the members, we are doing our sew along. Stay tuned because I will be posting the October sew along for subscribers that want to join. We will be doing a sew along for subscribers in October. And I think what I'm going to do is we'll do one subscriber sew along a quarter come in 2026 because I'm trying to figure that out. And then for the members, we will potentially have a bi-monthly sew along. And so I'm going to start getting some items for us to do. And one of the things that I really, really like and think is really good for new quilters are 3-yard quilts because you're not using more than 3 yards. You're not going to have to go out here and buy a whole bunch of stuff. And with the 3-yard quilts, you're making one block at a time. So it's to keep you focused and hopefully not overwhelm you. And you will come out with a beautiful quilt. Kind of like what we did last month when we did our quilt of courage. So I think that's all I have. For those members that have registered for the sew along that we will start on Tuesday, I will see you on Tuesday. For everybody else, I hope you had a really good day. Thank you so much for joining. If you haven't already, consider liking, subscribing, and becoming a member. You can always join our crew. Yes, look, Kristen, there are a lot of beautiful 3-yard quilts. Let me tell you, I have like a whole shelf of 3-yard quilts. You know, I think in the members this week, we're probably going to go live with me in here doing some stuff. Like I told y'all, I did do my shelves this week. Well, today I did, like literally not today. Today I did them like a few hours ago. But yes, so I thank you all for joining and for watching. And I'm super excited. I'm getting ready to go cut my fabric for the sew along because I'm gonna do that on the AccuQuilt, while I already have it out. So I'm gonna go cut my little squares on there. But I appreciate you all. Please have a great week. And for those of you who are members, I will see you on Tuesday. And for those of you who are not, we will see you later on the week. So stay tuned because I will have this week the binding video, which I think you're going to love. Like, I like my binding technique. I really do. And it works. All right. Well, have a great week and we'll see you all later. Oh, don't forget, stay tuned because you'll get to see some of my fabric haul in this next picture. All right. Bye, guys.
We got thread on the table, vinyl in the back. Orders on the list and we staying on track. Laughter's the vibe with a little caffeine. This ain't just work, it's a craft and dream. Go savvy in life, we stitch and we chat. Bringing all the sparkle just like that. From tumblers to tees, embroidery too. We're making magic right here with you. Oh, 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 oh. We're making magic right here with you. Got the hoop in place and the lasers lit. Talking about life while we custom fit. Y'all drop a comment, join in the fun. Sunday Funday vibes, getting things done. Sipping on tea and we giggle a bit. Packaging love with every kit. Creative queens with a boss babe flow. If you know, then you go, let's go. Let go savvy in life, we stitch and we chat. Bringing all the sparkle just like that. From tumblers to tees, embroidery too. We're making magic right here with you. Oh, 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 oh. We're making magic right here with you. Hit that like, don't forget to share. Crafting with heart and a little flair. Orders, laughs, and good design. It's go savvy time. Let's shine. Oh, oh, oh.